Whisper of the Heart, Episode 1, The New Neighbor. The city was never truly silent, but there was moments just before dawn or deep into the night when the world held its breath. In the moment, Emily liked to listen, not to the noise, but to the quiet beneath it. It was in that quiet that she first noticed him. Emily Bennett lived on the third floor of an old apartment building, nestled between the bookstore she loved and the world she avoided. She preferred routines, morning coffee at precisely 8, a silent ride in the elevator to work, an evening spent editing manuscripts that gave her more comfort than people ever had. But that routine changed. On a rainy Thursday, she heard footsteps, firm, confident, moving across the hallway. She peeked through the peephole. A man, tall, dressed in black, with a single duffel bag slung over his shoulder. He paused, looked around, and unlocked the apartment directly across from her. For a brief second, he turned his face, and Emily saw him clearly. Sharp jawline, stormy eyes, a small scar under his left cheekbone. He looked lost and yet completely in control. That was the first time she saw Lucas Hale. The next morning, Emily ran into him at the mailboxes. Morning, he said. His voice smooth like warm tea and slightly raspy like a tired violin. She nodded awkwardly. Hi, new here? Lucas smiled, polite but unreadable. Just moving last night. I'm Lucas. Emily. Their hands brushed briefly as she took her meal. Something in her chest stirred, something unfamiliar. She wasn't used to talking to strangers, especially not ones who seemed like they were hiding behind smiles. But Lucas wasn't like anyone she'd met before. Days passed. Emily saw him occasionally, leaving at odd hours, sometimes coming back with bruised knuckles or a tired looks in his eyes. He rarely spoke more than a few words, but every encounter left a mark. One night, as thunder rolled outside her window, Emily sat with a cup of tea and a book. Just as she turned the pages, she heard it. Voices, muffled but tense, coming from Lucas' apartment. She leaned closer to the wall. A man was shouting. Lucas' voice was lower, calm but sharp. You can't go back now, the stranger hissed. Lucas replied, You said it was clean. A beat of silence. They will find out, Lucas. They always do. Emily's blood ran cold. She backed away from the wall, her hands trembling. What was that about? Who was they? And what would they find out the next morning? She walked outside, hoping to shake the memory that when she saw it, Lucas' car, parked near the curb. But what truly caught her eye wasn't the car, it was the building behind it, the police station. He was standing outside it, talking to someone, not in cuffs, not in panic, just talking. Emily ducked behind a post, heart racing. Was he involved in something illegal? Was he being watched? She didn't want to believe it, but something told her. Lucas Hale had secret, deep dark ones. And yet, why did her heart race? When he looked at her, why did she feel like she wanted to know him more? That night, as she returned to her apartment, she found something lying in the hallway, an old photograph, a little worn at the edges. She picked it up. It was a photo of Lucas, but he looked younger, maybe 5 years, standing next to a woman she didn't recognize, and behind them a sign that said, Welcome to Ashridge Hills. Emily blinked. Ashridge Hills was a small town, hallway across the country. But what's this photo doing here? And why did Lucas look nothing like the man he was now? She stared at the photo, a thousand questions swelling in her mind. And at that moment, Emily knew her quiet life was over and the storm had only just begun. End of episode 1.